All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 5. As I mentioned before, your Essay 1 is graded. I'm going to be starting grading Essay 2 probably tomorrow. I'm also trying to catch up on some of the weekly assignments that don't have grades yet while I was busy grading Essay 1. So hopefully pretty soon you'll be all caught up in getting your grades recorded, and you'll be getting your Essay 2 grades back. Remember, I grade the essays in the order that I received them, so if you turned yours in earlier, you're likely to get your feedback sooner. Okay, next item of business is this new essay, an arguing a position essay. And you might say, yay, great, I'm really familiar with these. I did these in high school. Kind of true. Most of us have done some kind of arguing a position essay in high school or maybe even before then, but there are going to be some probably different requirements for you for this essay. One of them is, of course, a source requirement, 2 sources from the Chaffee Library databases, not from the open web. Not that there isn't great information on the open web, not that you can't cite the open web, but it won't meet your 2-source requirement. It's really important that you learn to use the Chaffee Library databases. Chaffee College actually pays a lot of money for us to have access to these sources. They're highly credible, and really, once you get the hang of using them, you can find great information quickly. They have citation tools that'll help you cite the source in MLA format. It's just really important to know how to use those tools. So that's going to be part of our discussion board assignment for this week. When it comes to choosing topics, be careful. Remember that you are writing in the context of an academic environment. And for many of us, a lot of the opinions that we hold most strongly, our support and our reasons for those opinions don't really have to do that much with the kind of reasons and support that the academic community finds credible. Let me give you an example. So let's imagine that you are at In-N-Out eating a big juicy double-double, and I run up to you and I tell you, no, 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 stop, stop, stop. And you're a reasonable person, and so you might stop for a minute and say, well, why, Leona? Is there some kind of food poisoning outbreak? And I say, no, no, no. Hindu teaching tells us that it's wrong to eat beef. Now, unless you're a Hindu, my father-in-law is, for example, that's not going to be a very convincing argument for you. Now, in the academy, people have many different religious backgrounds, secular backgrounds, and so you want to make sure that you're choosing arguments that are going to make sense in the academic community. That means that citing the Bible or whatever religious text you personally espouse isn't going to have the same kind of weight that it might have, say, in your Sunday school class. So be careful about that. Be sure that you're choosing an argument and a position that you know that you can support with evidence and reasons that people in the academic community would find valid on academic grounds. Next thing that I always tell my students to do is please, please, please pick a topic with which you have some personal experience. There are a lot of reasons for that. One of the most important is that it will give your argument a lot of credibility. If you're choosing something with which you've had experience that directly impacts your life, readers are going to look at that and say, this person must know what he or she is talking about because they've lived through it. A lot of times students have the temptation to write about a big issue, something that they might have written about in high school, like the death penalty or abortion or euthanasia. And I really ask that my students think twice before writing about a topic like that. For one thing, the personal experience, maybe it's there. I've had 2 really great essays written about abortion, both of which were written by women considering abortions at the time. So unless you have that direct personal experience to the topic, I ask that you stay away. And oftentimes on the issue of capital punishment, euthanasia, the student just doesn't have, let's hope they don't have the experience with capital punishment, right? They just don't have that direct personal experience. Okay, so that's the first reason. The second reason is because this is a short paper. It's only 3 pages. These are huge, big issues, and in 3 pages you're really not going to be able to break any new ground, add anything new to the argument, and the argument is just going to feel like a warmed over, condensed version of arguments that people have been making about this issue for years and years and years. So that's a couple of the reasons why I tell students to be really careful when it comes to choosing a topic. Yes, you want to pick something that you care about, something that matters, but those great big controversial topics, often they don't yield the best essays. Okay, trying to think if there's anything else that I want to remind you of, tell you, let you know. Of course, always email me if you have any questions, particularly if you're having trouble finding sources. If you do your best and you just aren't turning anything up, shoot me an email. I'll help you find something if it's out there to be found on the Chaffey Library databases. Okay, hope you're having a great week. Happy 4th of July, and I will be seeing you soon.